Shabbat Shalom and greetings to you all. Now, what a week. We have the winter solstice and therefore a change of season ritual. Now, one of the most important dates in the ancient world was, these 4 special days, spoken of in the Talmud, referred to as Tekufah Nisan, the spring equinox when the sun enters Aries, Tekufah Tammuz, the summer solstice when the sun enters Cancer, Tekufah Tishrei, the autumn equinox when the sun enters Libra, and this one, Tekufah Tevet, the winter solstice when the sun enters Capricorn. Now, Tekufah, it's a word that means turn or cycle. And these dates mark turning points in the progress of the earth. These days have always been celebrated with blessings for the changing seasons and with kavanah, with prayerful intentions that we put forward for crossing from one time to another. And each of these days corresponds to a meaning that occurs in life. The spring equinox represents life's renewal. Think of the spring. Summer solstice honors loss and abundance. The autumn equinox is the link between earth and heaven as we celebrate Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. The winter solstice, which we honor today, of course, is about the search for light because it takes place during the darkest time of the year. Now, the blessings said for these, they go back to the Babylonian Talmud, so they're very old. Blessed are you, Lord our God, who guides the world, who makes creation, whose wisdom changes the times and turns the seasons, as long as the days of the earth endure. Planting and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease. Blessed are you, divine presence, who blesses the years. Now, the winter solstice also ushers in the festival of Hanukkah. It's a holiday of rededication. The story of the rededication of the temple in Jerusalem by the Maccabees against the Syrian Greeks. Now, it's the story of a community that came together as we come together, like seekers of unification of spirit, come together in the collective consciousness of faith, of love, a community, a chavur, a fellowship, expressing our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all in this community has a spirit, Beth Ruach. So once again, please do go ahead and invite everybody, physically, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, to gather and come share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov. Hine Matov. Shevet Achim Gam Yach. Hine Matov. Shevet Achim Gam Yach. How good and pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. Together. Because we are a community, my friends. Let's all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world. Remember, this is your setting aside just a little bit of sacred time in your own sacred space to honor and converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in. It's a part of your kavanah, your intention that you put out to the universe. It's your goodwill. Now, we all know the story of Hanukkah. Around 170 before the Common Era, the temple in Jerusalem was sacked by the Syrian Hellenists, who forbid the practice of Judaism and erected an idol in the temple. Now, for several years, there was terrible persecution, and at one point the Greeks arrived in Modin. Now, that's a city just west of Jerusalem, which can still be visited today, by the way, where they ordered the Jews to sacrifice a pig to the Greek gods. Now, the priest, Mattathias, refused, and he killed the person willing to do the sacrifice, because somebody's always willing to, along with the Greek envoy, and a guerrilla war broke out. Now, this priest, Mattathias, and his sons, led by Judah, nicknamed Maccabee, the Hammer, which is an acronym for Micha Mocha Be'elim Adonai, who is like you among the powers of God, which is the prayer sung during the High Holy Days, and you're all familiar with that. Well, they lead the revolt. Now, the actual fighting takes 25 years, but after the first 3, the Maccabees reconquer Jerusalem, and they start cleaning up. Now, they clean up the temple, and the famous gold menorah, which Moses was instructed to design and build, had already been melted down, so they lit a makeshift one with the one vial of official high priest lamp oil they found. There was other oil, but it wasn't the official high priest oil. The miracle of Hanukkah, of course, is that it burned for 8 days instead of 1, which allowed fresh oil to be brought to the temple. That's why the menorah, or Chanukiah, as it's called, lit for the holiday, is different from the temple menorah, because this one has 8, not 7 spaces, plus 1, giving 9. And the 9th serves as the shamash, the helper light, which you use to light all the other lights. Now, the story is well told in the Talmud in Shabbat 21b. And of course, the word Shamash was the Mesopotamian god of the sun, and a god of truth and justice and healing and light. The people would have been all too familiar with him. So it was a great name for the flame to light all the other candles. Now, friends, there's really two miracles to note that take place here. The first, the one day of oil burning for 8 days. The second, the incredible military victory of the small force over the great force. Think about David and Goliath. One was the physical battle. We all have ongoing physical challenges and battles in life, and the other is the spiritual battle. And boy, do we have those. And this, the battle of the force of light over the forces of dark, and that's the battle that many people fight their entire lives. Let's face it, dark is usually easier. Just take a look at Darth Vader. Now, this is the time for all of us to dedicate ourselves or rededicate ourselves to living in a world of light. And we create light by the little things that we do every day. So please, in this dark time of the year, do just a little more light and drive the darkness away. So join me now in bringing light back into our lives as we watch it increase over the course of the holiday, reminding us that miracles occur daily, and they do occur daily. And even though technically we light a candle each day of the holiday of Hanukkah, I have them all set up right now in my little traveling Hanukkah. So we would light them all, for the people to enjoy. But you can do it one day, or you can do them all. There's different schools of thought on those, but we'll talk about those another time. And there's prayers that you say with it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner Chanukah, which is like the prayer we say when we light the Sabbath candles. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with his commandments and commanded us to kindle the Hanukkah light. And Hanukkah is from the verb Hanuk, which means dedicate. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, shasen nisim lavotenu ba'im chachem bizman hazeh. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who performed miracles for our forefathers in those days at this time, because this is a holiday about miracles. We kindled these lights for the miracles and for the wonders, for the redemption, the battles that you made for our forefathers in those days at the season through your holy priests. During all 8 days of Hanukkah, these lights are sacred. We're not permitted to make ordinary use of them except to look at them in order to express thanks and praise to your great name, for your miracles, your wonders, your salvations. For this great festival of light, we light 8 candles. It celebrates the return and increase in light in our world. Back in Genesis 1:3, we see the first thing God created was light. All growing things depend on light for life, and God is the source for all life. You know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I were to say to you, girl, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. Fire is the most powerful force on earth. It was the great gift of Prometheus, who was then punished forever for giving it to man. Now, and we light the candles with each candle representing something. The first candle is about God and creation. In the beginning of the Torah, God created only one thing, and that was light. He created the sun, the moon, and the stars to give light to the day and night and to mark the passage of time and festivals. The second light is about the holy beings. Okay, so the second candle represents that, man and woman, all of us the world over. We are the holy beings of God. The third candle is about the goodness of God. We're blessed by the presence and uniqueness of family and friends. And we're reminded by all those who've touched our lives, friends may be the blessings of peace and the promise of life come true. Fourth candle is the candle that represents the rededication of the temple. And we give thanks to the Lord because he is so good. The fifth candle is about God in a broken world. The heart of our blessings is a world dedicated to healing. We are too aware of the frailty of our physical bodies, and so we call to heal each other, to help heal all of us together. The sixth candle is lit to dedicate, the fighting of oppression of people. The oppression of people is not just something from the past. Every generation has nation waging war with nation. Ignorance, prejudice, jealousy, false pride, greed. We hold these things in our hearts. They come out, they're manifested in word and deed that dehumanizes and destroys. May our hearts be cleansed of those attitudes by the light of life and love. Seventh candle represents joy and celebration. And the eighth candle, which we light on the last night, is about the increase in light everywhere in life. And light is what we send to help those in need of blessings of God. So let's send some healing and some light out now to whoever you know that needs it. It floats through space, finding those in need. So send it out for those you know and for the souls and spirits of everybody you love. So think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love, or just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people. It is for our pets. It's for the earth. It is the healing of the world, my friends. The tikkun olam. It's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. So let's send thoughts and energy and health, renewal for everybody in need. For those in our hearts and our minds, for Gabe, the aura for David, for Ryan, for Tally, for Bob, for Rosemary, who's out soaking up the sun right now. Friends, it is the kindness, healing, wishes, goodwill, and love that we all send out. It circles the world, constantly seeking those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care. Because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit, my friends, never dies. Shabbat Avotainu Makor HaBracha Livotainu. May the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body. The renewal of spirit. And I say, Rabbi, Mishaberach, let us all have our spirits renewed, my friends, the world over. This is the great prayer for healing, which we call upon God to heal as He is healed before. Mishaberach, may He who blessed, because all healing is a blessing. So let's send and receive healing, renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, and to grow. Now, we're in the season of miracles now. And we're about to read is about the miracles that occur without our knowing it. And isn't that the way it really always is? It's only with hindsight that we see the miracles that were unfolding in our lives. As they occur, we really rarely notice them. And this week we're going to read Vayeshev, and he settled. Now this refers to settling as in living somewhere, but settling means so much more, my friends. We settle in life, but you do not have to. Hold on to your dreams. Do not settle for less than you're entitled to. Hold on tight to your dream. Hold on tight to your dream. When you see your ship go sailing, when you feel your heart is breaking, hold on tight to your dream. Now this week we begin the longest section of the Torah about one individual. We begin the Joseph Chronicles. We all know Joseph from two things. We know him from his famous coat and the fact that he was the great dream master of the Bible. I've just closed my eyes again. Climbed aboard the Dreamweaver. Dream. Driver, take away my worries of today. Leave tomorrow behind. Oh, dream weaver, I believe you can get me through the night. Oh, dream weaver, I believe we can reach the morning light. But the story of Joseph goes beyond being about a brother who was the extreme victim of sibling rivalry and hate, a man who languishes in a prison pit and then rises to be the second most powerful man in the most powerful country on earth, and possibly even royalty himself, but that's another story. A savior of a starving world, a designer of a political system which subjugated an entire nation. His story is the karmic linchpin which unfolded over generations and proves to be our next great example of forgiveness. We're introduced to a young man of about 17, used as a spy by his father to spy on his brothers. How do you think they felt? We saw this father tell the world how he viewed his wives and children last week, the order of the way that he was prepared to sacrifice them. Then we saw how he viewed his only daughter and his reaction to his sons when they took umbrage with how they saw her treatment. His only concern was how he would look. Everything his entire life was about him. And Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, "You've stirred up trouble for me, making me stink among the land's inhabitants." His concern was only for how he would fare. We see the growth of this poor boy as we read 4 of the most famous dreams in history. From his foretelling dreams of greatness to his gifted interpretation of the dreams. One of freedom, one of death for the 2 prisoners. This is a story of greed, hate, envy. Genesis 37:4. And his brothers saw that their father loved them the most of all his brothers, and they hated him. And they were not able to speak a greeting to him. Now, in Hebrew, it's dibero l'shalom. Okay, shalom. Hello, peace, goodbye. They could not even say hello to him, or peace be with you. Now, that is hate. Genesis 37:5. And Joseph had a dream, told it to his brothers, and they went on to hate him even more. Now, maybe he did not know when to shut his mouth. And his father shows his favoritism by giving him a special coat. Genesis 37:2. Joseph, at 17 years old, had been tending the sheep with his brothers. He was a boy with the sons of Bilhah and the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought a bad report of them to their father, a squealer. And Israel loved Joseph the most of all his children, and he made him a coat of many colors. Now, it actually doesn't translate as many colors. We have no idea what the Hebrew really means. So translators throughout history have always used the traditional coat of many colors to connect 2 stories that appear together. See, subsequently, in this very section is the story of Judah and Tamar. It's a fascinating story. And Tamar does have a coat of many colors. So the coats are linked. It's hardly coincidental that the 2 people who wear a coat of many colors in the Bible are both victims of violence by their brothers, that both coats are torn. The significance of the coat stands as a symbol of injustice among siblings. A crash in drums, a flash of light, my golden coat flew out of sight. Colors faded into darkness, I was left alone. May I return to the beginning. The light is dimming, and the dream is too. The world and I, we are still waiting, still hesitating. Any dream will do. Now, angered by his dreams of greatness and his spying on them, the brothers' hatred caused them to sell Joseph to Ishmaelites, and so their hands are clean as to his fate. They didn't do anything. They conspire and plot and scheme like their father. They will take the coat, they will dip it in blood, kid blood, to make Jacob think Joseph was killed by a wild animal. Jacob, who used his brother's coat to fool his father into blessing him, is about to have even more karma come back. Joseph's taken to Egypt and he's sold to Potiphar, a key assistant to Pharaoh, but Potiphar's wife takes a shine to Joseph, who resists, and then is accused of rape and put in prison where he languishes for years. Becomes a prison trustee, and the butler and wine steward of Pharaoh fall out of favor, and then they get thrown into prison, and they come to him with their dreams. Now the dream master is now the dream interpreter. But as he has learned and as he has grown, it is not him, it is God who he realizes is the great interpreter. Yes, the world is sacred, so is everything in it. Express your gratitude, my friends. Light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom, be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light. All who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send love to everybody you know. Goodwill. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone, and end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together, we celebrate each other, we love each other, we share this right together, men and women equally. So let's send out love, not fear, send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive and learn to love, including yourself. Open your hearts, honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have and enjoy your journey, my friends. And continue to learn to be, to love, and please do emphasize love. Now, bless you all with a fantastic week, a week of love and light, a week of miracles, a week of peace. The miracles are around you all the time. And remember, we set in motion everything that happens in our lives. It's our intention, our kavana, our cause, our effect. Everything is linked. As I've said, you always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad, so acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, to any person you've wronged, and ask forgiveness, but do so with sincerity, accountability, vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate, because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world just as they are? Can you accept life as it is without trying to control it? If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So keep on dreaming, keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching, keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear, follow love. It's always in front of you. And remember to have faith and unwavering adherence to principle, just as I have faith in the principle of love and all of you. Work to be present in the body, expand the heart, quiet the mind, because the deepest source of real power, my friends, lies in your consciousness and your ability to be mindful, to be aware, present in all of life's circumstances. So make the most of your time in this life. Continue to touch and transform the lives around you, because you're never alone. You are forever blessed. You have the ability to bring blessings to everybody you meet, health, love, and renewal to everybody you come across. We're all energy, and energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Your words are your power to transform, my friends, to love, to bless, so be generous with them. Bless others, bless yourself. Love with the heart. We're all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear. Forgiveness, not anger. And be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you, whether you know it or not. And continue to explore what faith and belief mean to you. Never accept shame as a natural state, because whatever you feel, others have felt. Whatever you've experienced, others have too. We share together, we learn together, we help each other. We are each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have that special someone in our lives. Find them. Tell them what they mean, and remember, you're never alone on your journey to your promised land. And watch your words, because they can hurt you, they can heal you, they can imprison you, and they can free you. Keep forgiving those you need to forgive, and keep asking forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. During the season of miracles and goodwill to man, as we celebrate our final holiday of the week, Christmas, the other half of the twin festivals of light, another Saturnalia festival marked by the solstice, and all the miracles of light that occur in our lives at this time. Have yourself a merry Christmas. Let your heart be light. Next year all our troubles will be out of sight. Someday soon we all will be together, if the fates allow. Until then, we'll have to muddle through. some ham. So have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Now make sure you express your wants and needs to Santa, my friends, because if you do not express them, they don't come to be. And don't forget, Santa knows who is naughty and who is nice. I should have thought about that earlier in the year. Oh well, there's always next year. Celebrate the growing light in the time of miracles. Get on the nice list and stay there. It's a much better place to be. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy the holidays. And I will see you all real soon. Shabbat shalom and blessings to you all. Take care. Thanks. Bye.